So, the good folks at Universal Audio have recently added an update to Luna that has finally brought two major features. A lot of little minor stuff they did, but there's two major features that they added to Luna that we Luna users have been asking for, and I'm going to talk about them in this video.
At McCray Music.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I am richly blessed. Pray that you are as well. We have for a while now in the Luna community been asking for two things. Those two things are A, the ability to be able to bounce tracks in place, right? They have a freeze feature, but we want to be able to easily bounce tracks in place to help save on processing power, or if we just want to just save a sound. It's a feature that Pro Tools has. Oh, I don't remember if Pro Tools had it. I meant to say Logic. Logic Pro has it. It's Logic Pro, Pro Tools. See where I got mixed up there. I think Pro Tools does have something like that. It's been a while. But one feature that Pro Tools does have that I have been asking for is track presets. The ability to be able to take a whole channel. Logic has this as well. Save a preset for that channel that includes all of the different plugins and things that are being used, and be able to apply that to another track or a completely different session. And glory hallelujah, both of those updates have landed in Luna, and we're going to take a look at both of those features right now. Before we do, please feel free to leave a like on this video, and feel free to subscribe to this channel and let folk know about the channel. Tell them come on over. We're having a good time over here on the Ed McCray Music channel. All right. And with that being said, let's take a look at these updates and see how they work. All right, guys, if we take a look here in Luna, the first feature we'll talk about is bouncing a track in place. This is something we've been asking for. A couple of reasons why you might want to do this, right? One obvious reason is if you are bumping up against the ceiling of your processing power, you're starting to get a bunch of glitches and things, and you just got too much stuff going on, and you want to just go ahead and basically print a stem of a particular channel. So let's say this lead vocal that's happening here, right? I've got a couple of different plugins here. Let's say I wanted to print a version of this, right? In Logic, we have a feature, Bounce Track in Place, where we can do that. That did not exist. Now it does. I can very easily do that here in Luna and let's come out here to the editing view. I could easily right click on the specific channel that I want to bounce. And if I take a look at the render area, I now have a bounce option. This would bounce this track in place. I could also go to the track menu, and I have an option here for just bounce range. And I could go into my bounce settings, which will, of course, pull this up like so. And I can choose in my bounce settings what it is that I want it to do, right? So I could choose to bounce the track. I could choose to bounce just the specific range if I wanted to, right? So this is great. I could choose to come down here and choose what I want to do to the source. Do I want to archive it? Do I want to delete it? Do I want to keep it? Do I want to consolidate the audio? And I can choose the destination here. Do I want it to go to a brand new track, which is what it's doing by default? Do I want it to go to a track? Maybe I already have a track I've created and I want it to put that there. I could absolutely do that. All right. So that is fantastic. So let's actually do that. Let's create a track real quick. Let's create an audio track, and we will call this, that's audio there. Let's call this LV bounced. Okay. In the interest of time, I'm going to bounce just a range. I'm not going to bounce the whole track. This is a very long and dense song, so it will take a couple minutes to bounce the whole thing. So I'm just going to isolate this range for now, and let's do it. Let's go to track. Let's go to bounce settings. I think I actually already had that up. Let's go to bounce settings here. We're going to keep this. We are going to have it go to LV bounced, and let's just bounce the range. Here we go. There we go. It's just going to take a couple of seconds to do that. And there it is, right? Now, notice it did not consolidate the audio because we didn't tell it to do that. So let's listen to the difference, all right? Here is the original.
We like sheep have gone astray. We have turned.
Let's go to the bounced.
We like sheep have gone astray.
I don't have it going to the effect bus, so that's a difference there, but you can hear it's exactly the same, all right? And if we take a look, we can see that the plugins are not there, right? Now, if I were to just copy or just go ahead and send this to the LV bus real quick, it's going to sound exactly the same.
We like sheep have gone astray. We like sheep have gone astray.
All right? Really, really cool, nice and simple. So again, I can do this by right-clicking, and I can choose to bounce, or I can do this by going to the track area. And here again, we can get into the bounce settings. Always make sure you configure that beforehand. One of the things I would like to see happen here, like happens in Logic Pro, is when I go to bounce, because right now, if I just right click and do bounce, right, it's not gonna ask me anything. It's just gonna go ahead and bounce using the exact same settings. So one of the things I'd like to see happen is when we do the bounce, it immediately pulls up the settings and allows me to configure it, similar to how it does if I go into bouncing for the entire session, right? If I do bounce for the whole session, my settings come up. I'd like to see that same thing happen with our bounce track in place option, all right? So that is cool. This is fantastic. Let's go ahead and get all that out of there. All right. The other new feature that is here, which I have been longing for this, is saving track presets. Oh my goodness. Look at all these plugins I've got going on here on this background vocal. All right, look at all this, all these things. If I were doing a project mix where I have similar things for multiple songs, right? So let's say it's the same background singers singing on the same microphones on 5 different songs, right? I am very likely going to use the same or at least similar plugin settings for all 5 of those songs, unless the vibe is completely different. I don't want to have to keep dialing this back in. And what I've had to do in the past is go to each plugin, create a preset basically for that plugin. So I'll come over here, go into my virtual mix track or whatever, and then create a preset either in Luna or actually inside of that particular application or that plugin, and then have to, in my new session, remember the order of the plugins. Sometimes I've taken pictures of the chain, right? And then load each one individually. I don't want to do that, and I don't have to anymore because I can now right-click on my track, and if I look, I have a presets area. Oh, glory be, oh, happy day, right? So I could go ahead and I could choose this, save as preset. Cool. Let's just call this Ed Lament BVs. Oh, this is glorious. Save. Now watch what I can do. Let's say, so I'm saving all of this. Let's say I've got another bus. Let's say I'm not going to go to a completely different session here, but let's just load up a bus, BV2, we'll call it. Cool, there it is. I want to use that exact same preset right there. I can right click under presets. I can go to assign. Oh, look what we've got there. My preset. I can choose that and it pops right up. Fantastic. Thank you. Now, my one complaint about this is I cannot control what it's saving, nor can I control what it's loading. All right. So as you see, when I went to save it, it didn't ask me, hey, do you want to save your sins? Do you want to save, even like the name of the track or the color or things like that? Sometimes I might want to include certain things and exclude others. And as you can see here, I cannot do that. So that is something that you can do in Pro Tools, right? We can control have it save the naming of the track, save the color coding of the track. I might want to do that, but then we can also get in there and granularly say, I do or don't want it to control sends, right? So in most applications, I wouldn't want it to keep my send settings, right? Because in another song, I probably have a completely different set of sends. I don't want that. Right now it does. I mean, it's an easy fix. I can come in here and I can just remove the sends and then do something different. The problem is if I start putting this preset on a channel that maybe I had already dialed some sends in for, it's going to replace those, right? So you want to be careful with that. And you might want to, do some workarounds for that. But other than that, just the fact that this feature exists, I'll deal with the fact that it's not perfect yet. The basic feature is here, and I am happy about it. So again, really simple. We simply right-click on a track. Let's see if we can get to that from the track menu too. Can we? Is that up here? Yes. So we go to track. I can say save track as preset. And from here, one of the cool things I can do even is new track from preset. So you can just insert a brand new track using one of these presets. And here's my preset right here. Let's say I was inserting a new lead vocal track. I have a preset for that. I can choose that and boom, it inserts it in. Again, it's putting my sends and all that. I probably don't want that, but there it is. And in this case, it is keeping the color coding. It's naming it after the preset. Cool. All right. Again, I'd like to be able to go in there and kind of edit that. And I don't see an option to do that. If I'm missing that and there's a Luna user out here who's like, no, Ed, you missed it. There's an area where you can go and change that setting. Please let me know. But I am happy that this feature is here. Kudos to Universal Audio. Great, great updates. Keep the updates coming. Love it, love it, love it. This is great for the Luna community. All right, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Is it perfect? Not yet. There's still, as I said, some little things I'd like to see adjusted a little bit, but the features are there. And one thing that I really like about the team at Universal Audio and their approach to Luna is they are constantly updating. They're constantly changing things. Remember, Luna is still a baby. Like Luna is really still a toddler in regards to how long it's been around. It's only been around for a couple of years, and it's in comparison to Logic and Pro Tools, it is absolutely the infant of the bunch in regards to DAWs, right? So, we got to crawl before we walk. So I know there are a lot of features that a lot of you staunch Pro Tool users or former staunch Pro Tool users are like, pitchfork, I want to see this. The features are coming. Give them some time. They're constantly updating things and making the DAW better, and I really, really appreciate that. All right, as usual, jump in the comment section. Comments, questions, thoughts. Are you a Luna user? How do you feel about these updates? Are you not a Luna user? Why aren't you? What are you doing? Come on over. It's a good time over here on the Luna train, all right? There's good stuff happening over here, all right? So come on over and be a part of the community, all right? And I'm going to see you guys in another video really, really soon. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. See you next time, guys. Peace.